back to the Caprine Cottage knitting podcast. My name is Anne, and I'm joining you from my kitchen in the Finger Lakes region of upstate New York. So welcome back, everybody. Hi, hope you're all well. Getting a little bit of a late start to this, which I feel like is always the theme. I have the best intentions of doing these earlier in the day, but then I don't get to it till the afternoon. So hopefully everything will go smoothly and quietly. I'll do the best I can, but just so you are aware, there could be some more background noise than normal. Caleb is out right now, and I think he's done raking, but he's baling hay, and so there might be some sounds. I think there's one field down right behind our house, and I think that he's working in a field that's farther away than that, but he might move, it might make noises, and then of course, Feeny the goat is also notorious for making sounds. I just gave her some hay, so please bear with me with the house sounds. Anyway, sorry, I don't know, I feel like maybe that was a weird way to start this. Today I have a handful of things to show you. It's not going to be a humongous episode, but I have one finished thing, two things in progress, a plan, and kind of a question for you guys near the end. I surprisingly have some acquisitions. I have been trying not to have acquisitions, but I do have a couple little ones. Well, one is not so little. And then, at the very end, I will do my book and music recommendations. So if you're not interested in those things, you can skip them. If you are interested, please stay to the end. I think that's about it. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll just get right into things. So the first, maybe most obvious thing is my finished object. I don't know how to pose. This is awkward. I'll stand up so you can see it better, but I'll talk about it a little bit first. And so it is the Lower Leogh by Mary Jane Mucklestone. I've been working on this for almost an entire year. I cast on in last October, so October of 2023, if you're watching this later. And I finished it in August of 2024. And it was on pause for a long time, so I've talked about that before. That's part of why it took so long, but it was sort of fun for me because I bought the yarn in Shetland in August of last year, so it just felt like the closure of this whole kind of beautiful 1 year kind of cycle. Also, I'm wearing it today because I wanted to show you guys the dress I'm wearing it with. And so I bought this dress in Scotland. I bought it at John Lewis, which is a department store there. It's from the brand Barber, and I love Barber, but in the United States it's very, very expensive. So I actually bought two Barber dresses when I was in Scotland. Both of them on discount, so they were very affordable. But this one was on super, super closeout. I want to say it was 70% off or something. And I just thought it was so cute with the little collar, and it has some little buttons under here. And it has a ruffly skirt. I'll stand up so you can see at least a little bit more of it, and ruffly cuffs, which are a little uneven. But anyway, sorry, sort of rambling, but I got this dress, and when I got it, I was like, this dress is to go with the Lower Leogh when I make it. It was even before I bought this in Edinburgh, so we hadn't even gone to Shetland yet. I didn't even buy the yarn for this sweater, but I knew I was going to buy the yarn for this sweater, and I was like, this dress is to go with that sweater. And so it just feels so satisfying to finally wear them together. And so I just knew, because it's this very oversized collar, and it's pretty deep V, so you need a deep V sweater if you want to wear a sweater over it, and this is perfect. It fits perfectly, and I knew it would, based on pictures. So yeah, it's so awesome and fun to see your vision come to in real life. And for it to work and everything, because obviously I didn't really know I didn't measure anything. I just thought it would look nice together. Yeah, so I'll stand up now so you can see better. So you see the little side hem split there in the back. Oh my gosh, it's awkward, sorry. Yeah, there it is. Here's the cuffs. It has like seed stitch all along the edge here. I'll come do a close-up of the neckline of the sweater too. There we go. But yeah, she's done. I'm so happy. Oops. I literally don't think I've ever been, that's a lie. I was gonna say I don't think I've ever been as happy to finish something. I would say that my Saurik smock by Gudrun Johnston is like the other thing that was like as happy about. But also in a weird way, maybe I am more excited about this one being done because it's just so practical. Like, it's such a lightweight sweater. It goes with everything. Yeah. I don't know. I just am really, really, really pleased and really happy about it. And pardon me. I recommend this pattern like 100%. I've talked about it in the last video. I was concerned that I would have issues with the back neckband just because I saw other people had some problems, and I was, you know, I'm not the most confident person, so I was worried that I might have some issues too, but it turned out to be very easy, and like this front V-neck construction was very easy. Yeah, I can't wait to make another one. If you'd like to see more pictures too, I've already posted finished pictures to my Instagram. Who am I? I know for once in my life I'm on top of something. That never happens, so don't get your hopes up. But you can go there and see there's like some close-up pictures and stuff. But in that post I also mentioned that I definitely want to make another one. So this is kind of like a neutral light colored natural sheep color. And I really would like to make one in like a medium or dark brown or natural black as the body. And then I don't know what the color work would be, but something else. Maybe I was thinking kind of like, maybe, you know, this is primaries, so it's yellow, red, and blue. And so then I was like, maybe it could be almost secondary colors. Maybe this is controversial as I'm about to say it. I feel like, oh dear, I really don't like the color purple. So I'm sorry if purple is your color. I love you, and it probably looks great on you, but it's just not for me. So maybe I would do like orange, green, and not purple. Or maybe I can find, you know, like the truth is there are purples I like, but many of them I just feel like maybe don't complement my like coloring, my skin tone. Like a dark plum I think would be acceptable. Yeah, so that's kind of my idea, is it could be like the dark version and then with secondary colors instead of primaries, but who knows when that will happen. I have about 15 million projects before I make that, because I do feel like my next big project after I finish what I'm working on for the winter is going to be a cardigan. I've never knit a cardigan before, and so that's kind of my like cozy winter plan. I haven't chosen a pattern yet, so tell me your favorite cardigan patterns if you have one that you love. I'm kind of open to anything. I would say my one requirement, that sounds so serious, it's not that serious, but my one like thing that I really want in this cardigan is I want it to be made of like natural woolly wool. So either Shetland wool or Icelandic wool, or, you know, I'm up for trying other wools, but those are my two favorites. So yeah, I guess we'll just jump right into my works in progress, because I think that that's all I have to say for finished projects about this project. I want to say, in my last video, I talked a lot about kind of the construction method and, you know, my ups and downs with that. So if you wanted to see that more, go ahead. Oh, one thing I would say is I think I talked about, and did I talk about it in that video, about the sleeves being short? And I guess it depends, it's all opinion, right? But the sleeves are still a little bit short, but they definitely grew with blocking, which I feel like is pretty usual. And so I'm very happy with the length. I love that my little ruffly cuffs stick out. I mean, obviously I'll wear other outfits too, but it leaves room for a cuff to stick out, which I love that kind of detail. But yeah, anyway, on to works in progress. So the first one I have here in the squirrel bag. If it's in the squirrel bag, it's probably a sock, and it is. So both of these projects, I think I already said it, but I just wanted to say it again. A big, big thank you to other Anne who purchased these patterns for me. Yeah, I'm so grateful. It really is, you know, it's just the sweetest, kindest thing. And so I'm working on both of them right now. But what's in here is my Rad Radish socks. I haven't been doing so much work on them, but I did finish the chart of one. Here, I'm going to tuck in these ends so it looks maybe a little tidier. There we go. Okay. And so yeah, this pattern is the Rad Radish sock by Charlotte Stone or Stone Knits. Yeah, and I've talked about this yarn and stuff before, but it's 2 colors from littlelionheadknits and then 2 colors of Wildfoot by Brown Sheep Company. Yeah, I'm just like, I feel like I had these yarns, the 2 tweeds left over from other projects, and I had like fantasized about making them together, and then I bought the Wildfoot colors for the color work. Oh, the white, I forget what the white is. I want to say it's the Coats & Co. mini. I don't remember what, I think it might be called Tough Sock. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember their sock name. But anyway, it's just been so nice to like see all the colors come together, and I'm so happy about it. I do feel like it's coming out a little bit big, which has been like my problem lately. I feel like forever whenever I knit socks, they would be like tight, like too small, and then I don't know, I guess my gauge is changing, which just happens. But also like with colorwork socks, I'm not mad about it being a little bit loose, because then it will be easier to put on and off and cozy and everything. So they're going as planned. They're just a sock, a nice cutie little sock. So I don't have a whole lot to say about them, but I do think they're so cute, and I can't wait for them to be finished. But also I'm not working on them very much right now because of the next project, I guess. Let's just switch them. This is so full, it's so heavy. So in this next bag is the big work in progress, what I'm really working hard on because I want it done before I go to Rhinebeck, and that's my Halibut sweater. And it has been ups and downs. I think it must have been in my last video that my last podcast that I talked about sort of my plans and the colors I intended to use, and I cast it on and I didn't like it. And so I'm going to insert a clip here of me talking about that from a while ago. I filmed it when I ripped it out. So I'll talk more about that, but it had nothing to do with the pattern. It just was me, and I chose to use 3 colors, and the truth is I just didn't like it. I thought it was too busy. I felt like it just didn't go quite right. The 3rd color I was using was a different yarn base, and it was a different weight, and I didn't like it. That's all. And so, yeah, I chose to start over, and luckily I hadn't gotten too far. And now I've gotten quite far, so I'll show it to you now. It's on a kind of small cable, so I won't be able to do too much. Take this out, and I'll set the bag over here, oops, and pull my own hair. But here she is. And so I'm not totally sure. I guess I'll insert the video of me tearing it out now, and then we'll be back. Hey everybody. So you're gonna see this much later than when this is happening. It's gonna be probably at least 2 weeks before you see this. But I wanted to come on and film this now because I wanted to talk you through it a little bit before I make the changes, because I won't be able to go back. So in this project bag is my Halibut sweater, and I've been working on it for about maybe a week and a half. Not very aggressively, but I also think that's because of what's going on. So I have been working on it in 3 colors, and the truth is I just am not excited about it. I'm not into it. I don't like how it's coming out. I don't like how the different yarns are working together. And so last night I was like getting ready to work on it, and I just was like so not excited to do it. And that's when I realized that like I have to do something different. And so I worked on a sock instead last night, but I decided that if I still felt that way in the morning, that I was going to rip the whole thing out and start again. But I wanted to kind of talk you guys through what I didn't like about it before I did it, like just show it to you a little bit. So I haven't done that much also, like it's not gonna be this like catastrophic loss. Like it's probably not more than a couple hours of work. And also those hours of work took so long, I think, because I was like doing, I just did it, I wasn't happy, I guess. But so I'll show it to you now, and I'm sure some people are gonna be like, no, it looks great. And like, I do like it, but I just feel like maybe I will make something with this kind of color palette and vibe at a later time, but this is just not it. So I'm gonna try and show you. Like I said, there's not that much. I'm gonna get, but so you can see I started the color work. And I just am like sort of not into it. And also I don't know, let's see if I can find an example where you can see. But here, because I'm doing the 3-color work in the place, and there's also like leaning increases, and I have to wrap the yarn, and I don't know if it's just an execution issue for me, like if I'm just doing a bad job, but I just don't like how it looks. I don't think I'm ever gonna like how it looks. And so I've decided that I'm just going to make it in the 2 colors of Scout. So the red will be going away, which I'm a little sad about, but also I just think it's probably for the best. So it will be just in these 2 colors, and I think I'm gonna be a lot happier about it. So yeah, I'm just gonna rip the whole thing back. I'm not gonna do the whole thing on camera. Might not do any of it really because it's just too chaotic, but I am gonna just pull this all out. Oh, and also like I mentioned before that I had opted for the crew neck, and I just sort of don't like it. Like, I don't know, I'm not really a turtleneck person. They sort of make me claustrophobic, but like the more I look at other people's pictures of their halibuts that have the mock turtleneck, like the shorter one, I just think that's the route I want to go. I think I like the look of it better. It looks kind of cozy. You know, it's not a turned down turtleneck. It's just like a little one. And also like if I end up hating it, I can always fold it in half and make it a double layer crew and just, you know, tack it down. I just wanted to talk you guys through this a little bit, so then in the next video when you see it and it's completely different than we talked about, I can insert this and you can hear about it. So yeah, thanks, bye. So we're back now, and so some changes I chose to make from that last one you saw is I went for the mock turtleneck, a mock neck, which I know in my last video I was like, I don't like turtlenecks, and I kind of don't. But I think that this is like short enough that it's gonna be okay, because it's not very long, and it's not like tight or anything. I think I have just like, you know, childhood trauma of turtlenecks. I feel like maybe other people who are raised in the 90s remember that, but I feel like my mom, like turtlenecks were in style, I guess, and I was always being put in them as a kid, and I just, you know, it's like a sensory nightmare for me. Like I just felt so claustrophobic. But I think that this is gonna be like, it's very loose and stretchy and not like suffocating, and it doesn't have a roll or anything. I think they look cute. I just makes me feel like I'm gonna die. But here, I want to get this smoothed out so I can show you a little bit of the color work up close. I hope it's focusing for you. But so there's some little fishy tails starting there, and yeah. So I chose to just do it with the 2 colors of Scout, and as I'm seeing this in the viewfinder, I feel like I'm really happy. I was a little bit worried that choosing just these 2 colors was going to be too low contrast. And it is. I'm not going to pretend that this isn't low contrast, but I like it. And I think it's good. I think it's enough contrast that you can see what's going on. And I'm making pretty good progress. So I think that I will be able to finish it in time for Rhinebeck. I really hope so. I feel the pressure mounting of that deadline because it's now, I don't know what day it is. It's like September 4th or 5th, I think. It is September 4th. And so I have to finish this by, at the very latest, it needs to be blocking by October 16th. Like, that is, like, down to the wire. Like, I would love for it to be finished, like, a week before that so that I don't have to, like, panic and be working the night before because I intend, you know, I will leave the morning of the 18th. So, and I'm like, I have to drive, so it's not like I can knit in the car. So it has to be done. This is, like, a very firm deadline. But one thing that I do also want to mention that I think is so cool, and I doubt that you can see it on the video, but, like, so the contrast color, the green, I think it probably reads green for you, but this yarn, you know, I bought it and I felt like it was just kind of an olive green. I could see that there was dimensionality to that color, but it just read green to me. But as I've been knitting it up, it's just the most, like, magical color, and this is, Scout by Kelborn Woolens, and the color is called Autumn Heather, and I thought that was such sort of an interesting color choice when I bought it, where I was like, it's not just like olive heather or, you know, something like green. I don't know what other green color name you would use, but it's because it's not green. I mean, it is green and it reads green, but when you look close, or, like, I don't even know how to describe it. I feel like this is maybe not, we're not getting to the point together, but it looks purple sometimes, and it's just really cool. Like, it definitely shifts between looking green, looking orange, looking purple, and I think that that's amazing after my, like, saying I didn't like purple before. I'm eating my own words. But it doesn't read purple, but it has this, like, purpleness to it. I don't know. If you've used this color, maybe you understand what I'm talking about. But I'm just so happy with it that it is sort of this own thing. It's unique, and I think it looks really pretty with the yellow. It complements with the yellow, and I love the idea that I'm going to have a yellow sweater. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. Yeah, so, this is did I say that? The Halibut sweater by Caitlin Hunter. If I didn't say that, sorry. Everything's linked down below. I always say that. So yeah, check that out. But it's going really smoothly. I also think, the first time I had cast it on, I made a small mistake with the short rows, and I think that sort of led to me being kind of unhappy, but I didn't even notice I had made the mistake. So then when I went and did it again, I realized the mistake. I had, like, missed a sentence in the instructions, and so I think it's better this time, I guess. The one thing that I feel like is a little sloppy, and it's, like, a me problem, is this is the first time I've ever done, how do I say it? A color work yoke top down. The last one I did was bottom up, and so doing increases, like left-leaning or right-leaning increases in between the color work section, for me in my knitting, I feel that my leaning increases are sloppier than my leaning decreases. So that's something interesting that I'm learning through this process, because generally I like top-down sweaters better because you can try them on as you go. But I'm realizing now with a yoke, I think I do prefer the bottom-up construction because, my leaning decreases are tidier than my leaning increases. I really hope I said that all right and didn't get mixed up. So but there she is. And I'm pretty happy about it. Let's have a little drink of water. I have my cute Halloween mug out. I just feel like it's, like, pretty warm out, but I'm really embracing the fall vibes this year. The summer here was so hot and humid, and it's been cooler now for a couple weeks. Well, like a week. And, okay, it's not even been a week. It was really hot on Sunday. It was, like, in the 90s, but it's cool now, and I'm enjoying it. It's always time for the cute little pumpkin mug. This reminds me of I got it because it reminds me of him, but I think his name was Enoch from Over the Garden Wall, the like big pumpkin guy. So that's why I got it. Caleb thinks it's creepy, but I think it's really cute. Maybe it's a little creepy, I don't know. I have a sock project on the like brain. I can't stop thinking about it, and I think it's gonna be my like, it will probably be my Socktober project, because I feel like it's going to be a miracle if I get those Rad Radish socks and the Halibut done before October starts, I think, or like even before Rhinebeck. But so maybe this will be like the project I take with me to Rhinebeck. I really like that idea. So anyway, it's from this issue of Pom Pom, the Candace English, well, I didn't say that right, Candace English issue. It's like the farmer's daughter fibers woman, yeah. And so in this, there's the pattern for, I'll put a picture too, but I brought this with me so I could show you guys what it comes from, and then also so I don't forget. But here, I'll take my sticky out. It's the Starflight socks. I've mentioned these before. This is by Allison Lutz. I love her sock prep. Oh my goodness. I love her sock patterns. My first colorwork socks were a pattern from her. But, so I've been dreaming of making these socks. Oh, like I said, I'll put a picture. Since this came out, like, I've been so excited. And I'm just, like, so devastated that Pom Pom is no more. But that's a whole other topic. But anyway, so I really want to make those socks. And I bought this color. I showed it to you guys already. I bought this at Central New York Fiber Festival. It is Life in the Long Grass, which I just love her colors so much. But so this is like a green, it's also, yeah, it's called Andisol. Andisol? I don't know what that means. Oh, I feel dumb. But this is her fine sock yarn. So I'll hold it close so you can see the color. Maybe it focused, maybe it didn't. But it's kind of like a mottled gray, green, blue with, there's some like rusty speckles in there. I'm very excited about this color. But anyway, for the contrast, I've chosen two, and I'm really struggling to choose. So that's why I wanted to include this in this episode so that you guys can give me your opinions. And I'll tell you sort of my reasoning between the two that I've chosen. So I have these two minis. These are from Coats & Co. And there is a pink one and a yellow one. And so my inspiration is sort of two things. So Allison Lutz, the designer of this pattern, she just put out another pattern. I'm not going to remember what it's called. But she just put out another sock pattern. And the two like sample colors, one is like teal with bright red, which I'm in love with. And the other one is green with pink. And so, but I'm leaning towards the pink, I feel like, because this green is pretty cool, and like it has the gray, so it's reading cool. So I feel like the pink is cute, but then also I'm like slightly worried the pink is too light, so too light of a pink. And then so for the yellow, my other inspiration is, so Summerlee is doing a like monthly sock club where you get a chart every month. Of course, I signed up as if I'm gonna have time to do that, but I thought it would be fun to get the. Sorry, Feeney's being loud. She heard her name. I think it's really fun to get all the different charts, and then you can like plug them in to the base sock pattern. But anyway, Colleen from littlelionheadknits is knitting the first chart with, I mean, it's her yarn, obviously, but it's green. Like, it's more of a, like, it's definitely more of a yellowy green with a mustard accent. And I just don't know if I like it because this green is much, much bluer than the green she's using. And so, like, I love her color combo a lot, but I don't know if this is going to look like that. And maybe I just have to knit, like, one of each and see which one I like better. I'm definitely leaning towards the pink, but I would love for you guys to give me your opinion. I don't know if I can do a poll under the video, but I can put up, just tell me what you think, but I could put a poll on the community tab and you guys can vote and give me your opinions. Or you can just comment and tell me your opinions if you feel so inclined. No pressure, obs. But yeah, so those are the two options for that. So that's one thing I'm inspired about. Anyway, so the next thing I have to show after that little sock plan is acquisitions. And so there's not a whole lot, so don't worry. But the first thing is this beautiful, beautiful skein of yarn. Oops. And so this is actually incredibly local to me. I bought this from a farmer at the farmer's market I sell at, or one of them. Their farm name is Picaflor Farm. I will post links to them. I don't think you can purchase the yarn. Sorry, I have to move my chair. I don't think you can purchase the yarn online, and I don't think they ship at all, actually, but you could check out their website and their Instagram. It's very cool, so I'll put a link below. But they have Angora goats, and she just had yarn made, so I had to go buy a skein because it's so beautiful. It's, I'm not totally sure what weight this is. I haven't done a wrap test, and she was told that it's a bulky weight, but I don't think it's a bulky weight. I would say it could be Aran weight at the most. It looks worsted to me. It's a 3-ply. But it is mohair from Angora goats and then blended with wool. So I don't know what I'm going to make with it. And I also think that I would like to buy a second skein. But I have the idea of buying a second skein and then natural dyeing both of them to make like a small project. So maybe a cowl. I think it would be a really nice cowl, or like a little shawlette. What do you call it? Like a bandana, kind of, maybe bigger than a bandana. So that's an idea. I have to figure out the weight of it first and then decide if I want to buy a second skein. But it's super cute and it's local and it made me really happy. So that's one thing. And then the other acquisition is I got a vintage knitting machine kind of impulsively. A friend of mine messaged me and was like, she texted me and she was like, do you know how to use a knitting machine? I just bought one and I don't know how to use it. And I was like, no, I don't know how to use a knitting machine. I wish I did. And she was like, oh, well, at the, local thrift store, there's another one and it's discounted at 50% off. I just got this one there and the other one's probably still there if you want to go check it out. And I was like, it was on Sunday and I had the Sunday off. And I was like, oh, I could go do it. I could, like, I'm by myself. Caleb's off doing something. I could go play hooky and just check it out. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go over there and just look at it. I'm not going to buy it. I'm just going to look at it. And I got there and it's just so cute. Like I said, I will, how about right here? I'll insert a little clip of me showing it to you. So here it is. I wanted to show you guys this when I bought it, but then it was just sort of a weird day. Maybe I'll talk more about that when I film my podcast, but here is the knitting machine. It is the Brother KH800. I did a small round of research so far, but not a lot. And it said it's from the 70s. I'm obsessed with this like teal turquoise color that it is. Like it's so cute and vintagey to me. And I'm pretty sure all of the parts are here. There's these two, but you can see here the punch card system, which I have so much to learn, but I'm very excited. It has a row counter there that clips onto those little pegs. And it seems like pretty clean, like none of the needles are rusty. They all seem to move, but I have to take the whole thing apart and clean it. But I'll talk more about that in the sit down portion of this video. Okay, so we're back. But so now you've seen it. It's just the cutest like vintage color. I love that color. I like that it, I don't know a lot about it yet, but it seems like it's the kind of machine that can do, well, I know it can do charts, and then it seems like it has like a lot of capabilities, but I also don't know the first thing about machine knitting. So that will be a journey. I'm assuming that's going to show up in Caprine Craft at some point. A lot of you reached out because I posted on Instagram and multiple people reached out with tips already, and I'm so grateful for that. And one person told me like that I have to clean it and check something before I use it. So that will be step one. But I've only had it I bought it on Sunday and it's Wednesday. So it's only been with me for 4 days. But so cleaning it and getting it up and running will be the next step. And yeah, it was only $50. So I don't know. It just seemed too good to pass up. And I wanted one for a really long time. And also my friend who got one too, she said we can like try to learn together. And so that makes me really happy. I think that'll be really fun. yeah, so that's the two little acquisitions. And then all I have left is my book and movie recommendation, or movie, no movies. I mean, I would love to recommend movies to you, but I don't have any book and music recommendation. So the book, I feel like my book recommendations are A, all over the place, and B, sorry, a fainty sneeze. They're kind of like, I'm very unsure of myself, but this book I'm reading right now, and it is called Big Machine by Victor Lavalle. I'm not totally sure the pronunciation of his name. Sorry, Victor. But my caveat with this recommendation is that I am only a little over 100 pages in, so I'm like a third of the way in. And I always do this to myself. I always go on Goodreads and read the reviews before I finish the book, and I really shouldn't. But I can't be stopped. A secret love of mine is reading reviews in general. Like, I love to just go on Amazon and read unhinged reviews because people are hilarious. But anyway, that's like off topic. I went on Goodreads and I read the reviews, and a couple people said the first half of this book, it was my favorite book, and then the ending I didn't like. And so now, I shouldn't have read the reviews, but so now I'm a little apprehensive that I will dislike the ending. This book is exceptional. I feel like even if I don't like the ending, this book is worth reading for the writing alone. My dad gave me this book a very long time ago, and it's just been sitting on my shelf, and it sounded really interesting, and I just never got around to it, sort of. There's always something else I've wanted to read more. And so recently I just picked it up. I was like, you know what, I want to read that. And it has like exceeded expectations. His writing is amazing. The main character, his name is Ricky Rice, and like, you are Ricky Rice. And it's really interesting because I don't read a lot of books with male protagonists. That's something I realized about myself while reading this book. I read pretty much exclusively female protagonists, almost exclusively female authors. I guess I read the Shetland series, which that, has a male protagonist, but this is just, it's different. It's really different. You really feel it shows from a male perspective in a very, very interesting way. And I really like it. It really feels like being in the mind of a man, which is unsettling and fascinating at the same time. It's a really, really cool experience. And, a lot of people will say things about the male gaze, female gaze, whatever. And, I definitely read predominantly female media. But this has just been such an experience. And the story is, I'm not going to give anything away because it's very mysterious. It's a very mysterious book. It starts off and you think it's going to be just about this guy's kind of humdrum life, and it is not about that at all. And I have no idea where it's going. Like, it's not plotless at all, but I cannot figure out what the plot is. And I went into it pretty blind, like I didn't really know. I guess it's sort of classed as like horror or suspense, so that's interesting too. But I just thought it was going to be a regular novel, and so I just had no idea. And I'm loving it, and I cannot wait to finish it. So I'll report back, but if you want to read it, we could read it together. I took a break from my fantasy series to pick this up. I wanted to read something shorter. Oh, I also finished The Maid by Nita Prose, and I loved it. It was great. It's a cute little murder mystery, so it's a great palate cleanser if you're looking for something. I recommend that book too, but this has stood out to me as being so exceptional that I had to recommend this one instead of that one. So yeah, and you can follow me on Goodreads if you would like. I don't write reviews, but you can at least see what I'm reading and what I finished. I'll put a link below for that. And then the last thing I have to recommend is a musical album. And I don't have the musical album. I only have the digital copy. So I'm going to put a picture here. The band is called Offa Rex, and the album is called The Queen of Hearts. And so it's like a musical project between the band The Decemberists and a woman, I have it here because I wouldn't remember, but her name is Olivia Cheney. She's an English, based out of the UK musician, and I hadn't really thought about this album in a while, and then I used one of their songs on one of my Instagram posts, and I went back and started re-listening to that album, and it's just so good. And I'm not like a huge Decemberist fan. I mean, I like them fine, but I've never been like super into their music or anything. and I randomly stumbled upon this album. It's a single album of this project of those two groups working together. And I think it's great. And I hope you like it. It's a little bit heavy, but also with beautiful female vocals. For me, it's like, and I think this is the point, it's clearly like very reminiscent of 70s, what would I say? 70s folk, metal folk, sort of like, I would say it's very reminiscent of the band Pentangle or, it's gone, the other band I'm thinking of. I'll put it right here because I can't think of what it's called. But they have the song Meat on the Ledge. I can't think of oh, it's so close. It's just my brain. I swear when I'm filming these things, sometimes it's like the information's like, goodbye. If I think of it, I'll say it. But otherwise, I'll put it on the screen. But I feel like the sound is very reminiscent of that, but it's also heavier. It's, I would say, highly metal influenced. I would call it like folk metal. Yeah, but it's great. I recommend it highly. And so it's something unique. I would say there's very few other musical projects that have that are contemporary, that have a similar sound. So if you're into, it's also like perfect for the introduction of spooky season. I feel like it has very like fall, spooky fantasy vibes. Yeah, I feel like it's got like sort of Jethro Tull energy a little bit. So if you like any of those things, I think you'll be into it. But yeah, other than that, I think that's all I have to say today. I'm not sure how long this video will be. There's been so many cuts. I don't think there's anything else. I always feel like I'm forgetting something. Hopefully not. That's also just like the theme of my life. I always feel like I'm forgetting something. Every time I go anywhere or do anything. But yeah, anyway, as always, please tell me what you're working on. Have you made either of the projects I'm doing right now? I feel like both the Halibut sweater and the Rad Radish socks are very popular patterns, so maybe some of you have made it before, made either of them. Tell me how it went for you, or if you have tips, tricks, that sort of thing. If you're working on something else, let me know. I hope that you had a nice time if you were knitting with me. I guess I didn't say that at the beginning, but I always assume you guys are crafting while you listen to me yammer on. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video, if you could give it a thumbs up, that would really, really help me out. If you're new here, thank you for joining me. If you like what you saw, please subscribe. I post a video almost every Friday. On the note of posting schedule, next week, like the upcoming week, will be a week off, so I won't see you guys, but hopefully I will have a short video to offer you. And then we'll be back onto schedule. So I think that's all the things I have to say. If you are looking to find me elsewhere, all of those things are going to be linked down below, and I would love to see you there. So yeah, thank you for joining me, and we'll talk soon. Bye.